Afternoon. Today is Tuesday, October the 20th. Today in geometry, we looked at equations of lines. There are 5 different types of problems you have here, so I'll share my screen and show you the types of problems that we looked at. So when you're looking at lines, the first type of line you're looking at is the slope-intercept form, which is y equals mx plus b. In this case, if you have a problem, m is the slope of the line and b is the y-intercept. So if you have a problem and somebody says your slope is 3 and y-intercept is 2, then your equation is y equals 3x plus 2. You substitute in the 3, which is the slope, in the place of m. You substitute in the 2 for b because 2 is the y-intercept. Now that's the simplest type of line problem that you can have. The second type of problem is where you have the point slope problem. And in this case, your equation is y minus y1, that's a subscript, equals your slope times x minus x1 subscript. Now, so in this case, you would have, somebody would come in and say, okay, you have a line with slope 3, m equals 3, through the point, let's say, minus 2 comma 4. So if you look at what happens here, see, okay, so you would put in your point slope because that's what you have. You have a slope and a point. So you'd start with y minus the y1, and the y1 here is 4. And say equals, now your slope is 3. So you put in the 3, and then you put in x minus, in this case you have a minus 2. So the minus minus is going to make it a plus. So your final equation here would be, if you do y equals 3 times x plus 2 is 3x plus 6. And you bring the minus 4 across. So that's plus another 4. Plus another 4. So your final equation is 3x plus 10. Now, the next type of equation that you run into, or the next type of linear problem that you run into, is what I call a 2-point problem. And in a 2-point problem, what you're given is, let's say you want to find the line through points. Let's say we're going to do 2 comma 5 and 5 comma 8. Okay, now, so in this case, what you have to do is, the first thing you have to do is you have to find the slope. So I just erased my problem here. So we're going to have the problem, what was it, 2 comma 5 and 5 comma 8. Okay, so to find the slope, remember we have the slope equals y2, which would be 8, minus y1, which is 5, divided by x2, which is 5, minus x1, which is 2. And in this case, we get a slope which is 3 divided by 3, which is 1. So now I can take this slope, which is 1, and either one of these 2 points, it doesn't matter, and I put it back into the point slope form over here. So let's see, so we do y, we'll use the second point. So y minus 8 equals the slope times x minus 5, and we get y equals x minus 5 plus 8, which is x plus 3. Now, if I had gone with the other point, I would still get the same thing. I would get y minus 5 equals 1 times x minus 2, and that would give me y equals x minus 2 plus 5, which is, once again, x plus 3. So when you have a 2-point problem such as this, it doesn't matter if you use this point or this point. You will get the same final answer. Now, the fourth type of problem is something which, so say you have one here, this is slope-intercept, point slope is 2, 2-point problem is 3. The fourth problem would be through a point. So let's say we're going to go through the point 3, 4, and parallel to a given equation, like parallel to y equals 3x plus 5. Now remember, when you're parallel, the slope of your parallel line is the same. So the slope I'm looking at here, I'm going to get m equals 3, and my point is 3 comma 4. So I'm going to come over here and use my point slope once again. So I have y minus 4 equals 3, parentheses, x minus 3. And then if I simplify this, I get y equals 3x minus 9 plus 4, which is 3x minus 5. And then the final type of linear problem that you would have is where you have through a point, so we could say the same thing, through point 3, 4, and then we're going to be perpendicular to a given line. So let's say y equals 3x plus 5. Now, so now if you remember, when I'm perpendicular, my slope is the negative reciprocal. So now my slope is equal to minus 1/3, and my point is the same, which is 3 comma 4. So I can come over here and do my point slope, which is, I need to put in, so I come over here to my point slope and I can say y minus y1, which is 4, equals my minus 1/3 times x minus 3. And if I work that out, let's see if we get room down here for one more. So if I work that out, I would get y equals minus 1/3 x, and then minus 1/3 times 3 is 1, and then the 4 comes across, so that would be plus 5. So that's what we looked at today. If you look at your homework problems once again and see if you have any questions, I will go ahead and stop sharing here. Remember, you can always freeze this video so you can look and see and spend as much time as you need on a particular section. Now, what we will do tomorrow, if you look, we're going to look at finding the equation for the perpendicular bisector of a given segment. That's a lab that's in your book, and we will do some problems dealing with that. So I will get back to you on Thursday when we're talking about proving lines parallel. Any questions you have, send me an email and I will get back to you.